G'day folks, welcome to a Queensland weather app from OCC, today the 29th of November 2022. My name's Chris Nitzo. This update brought to you by a major sponsor, TownsvilleSheds.com. Check them out if you're in the market for a shed-safe accredited shed. Lots of light rain again across much of the state, eastern parts and northern parts. You got lots of light rain here from the Gulf from some convective activity, heavier convective activity that happened overnight. Nice squall line coming in on what looks to be a quasi or pseudo-monsoonal flow onto the northwestern parts of Queensland. We've got some showers and thunderstorms developing off the north tropical coast, pushing towards the southeast, and we've got lots of rain around the Capricornia region and some of the waste products of that rain pushing southwards into the Hervey Bay, Fraser coastline. Also, for those of you pretty sharp-eyed, you'd notice there's a weak circulation here in the southern Gulf country. There's also a weak circulation up here in the central parts of Gulf of Carpentaria, and there's about to be a weak circulation out here around central Queensland in the next 24 hours. We're expecting a southeasterly wind surge to come up the southeast Queensland coastline, pushing up towards the Fraser coast by the end of the day or early tomorrow. At the same time as that happens, we're going to see increased rotation around the central Queensland coastline. Here's our little weak low in the Gulf of Carpentaria. So the combination of that southeasterly charging up the coastline and the little area of rotation here is just going to induce a low pressure system, along with an upper level system, of course, which has a major factor to play in the development of that low pressure system. But without going into too much detail, we do that in our subscription service, expecting to see a low pressure system forming there, expecting to see a low pressure system forming there. The low off the central Queensland coast will push away to the southeast. The low in the Gulf will also push away to the east and southeast into the Queensland coast, the west Queensland coastline. For today, we're expecting to see lots of rain up there in the Cape with that monsoonal-like flow that's coming in from the northwest, and we're expecting to see lots of showers and thunderstorms across central, eastern, northeastern Queensland. Exactly where they're going to be, of course, is something that we probably need to deep dive into, and once again, we're time limited here, so we can't do that. But expecting to see lots of showers, lots of storms, lots of places, lots of rainfall potential associated with that as well. Further south we go into southeast Queensland, the more likely we are to come in contact with dry air. Further west we go into western Queensland, the more likely we are to come in contact with dry air, making life a little bit more difficult for thunderstorms to develop. As we progress into this evening tonight and early tomorrow, we're going to see that low pressure region develop around that central Queensland coast, so we could see some enhanced rainfall. We could continue to see showers and thunderstorms overnight, early in the morning across North Queensland as well, and of course that little monsoonal-like flow pattern across northwestern parts of the Cape is going to continue to produce significant rainfall, possibility of some squall lines as well developing over the next 24 to 36 hours with that flow. So expecting to see some very heavy rainfall around that western Queensland coastline, around that Cape York Peninsula region. Expecting to see the development of some heavier falls around Princess Charlotte Bay. Also expecting to see some very heavy rain around central Queensland, although at the moment it's just a little bit difficult to pinpoint and target locations. Not everyone in central Queensland is going to get heavy rain like that at this stage. It's just a little bit difficult to pinpoint and target whether it's going to be here, whether it's going to be here, or whether it's going to be here, okay, as to whether or not where those heavy falls are going to be. Elsewhere, those showers and thunderstorms across the northern parts of the state are going to result in some localised very heavy falls, but very localised. That means you could be here where you're getting 100 mils, you could be here where you're getting 2 mils, and you're going to be very close to each other. So just because it didn't happen in your backyard doesn't mean it didn't happen. And we're also expecting to see a little bit of enhanced rainfall just on the Sunshine Coast, Fraser Coast. As that southeasterly charges up the Queensland southeast coastline, it's going to meet a little bit of resistance. And where it does meet a bit of resistance, we'll see an increase in rainfall in that location as well. But all eyes at the moment on central Queensland and the northwest peninsula and Gulf country. They're our big areas to watch over the next 24 hours. Have a wonderful day. And remember, if you'd like to support our work, you can get a lot more detail in these forecasts at join.ozcyclonechasers.com.au. Check out our subscription options, and we hope to see you on the other side. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you tomorrow.